Hey guys, so we have the information on, well, some of the information. It was technically the reveal, kind of, because we already knew these were coming, so I don't really know what to call this, but the Twitter reveals for the free-to-play Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Goku from, I guess, technically Resurrection F. For some reason, they decided not to post these on the English Twitter account, for whatever reason, so I just translated them myself. And I did not expect that the day would come where I had to translate from Japanese to English a Dragon Ball Legends tweet. That is a dark timeline we're in right now here, but okay, let's go ahead and start going over what these guys do here. So, obtain Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta from an event. Increases damage dealt by special moves and blast attacks when allies other than this character are hit with strikes and blasts. A powerful blast-based character that gets additional damage when entering the battlefield. So basically, because initially I read this, and I read it too quickly, and I was like, oh, he has to get hit to get his damage, he sucks. Because that's the one issue I have with Green Broly, the Green Broly that came out during Legends Festival, is he's a good unit, and he does like pretty good damage. He has the card draw speed on his strike card effect, but the main issue that I have with him is the fact that he gets a lot of his extra effects and abilities from the enemy using tons of cards against him. Which just means you lose, right? If the enemy is spamming you with cards and hitting you over and over again with strikes and blasts and blue cards and green cards, you lose. You're losing the fight. So I think this guy having an ability where he gets those same buffs, but instead of him getting hit, it's allies getting hit. It's not necessarily like way better, but it is better because it means that you can have a tanky character that's not this free-to-play Vegeta who probably isn't going to have the greatest defensive stats ever and defensive, utility ever, to be able to take the full force of those hits. So, for example, you have this guy in the Vegeta family team. You have, the Sword of Hope Trunks take those hits instead. You have him build up his meter, and in the meantime, this Vegeta's getting these buffs. So it's going to work out a lot better than something like the Green Broly, how he's designed, so that's fine. They didn't really give us much to go off of, honestly, with this guy, other than he's just a blast-based unit, and he does a lot of blast damage and special move damage, so they didn't really give us much to go off of. So we're just going to take that as a, as they have it right here, and we'll just move on to Goku. So moving on to Goku here, Goku definitely sounds much more interesting to me, and again, obviously don't know the full force or the full extent of what he can do, but based off what they said here, it does sound pretty promising. So, obtain Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku from an event, nullify unfavorable element factors and abnormal conditions for a set period of time from the start of battle. So that actually does remind me a little bit of the original Blue Super Saiyan Blue Goku that came out during the first anniversary. He also did, I believe, nullify abnormal conditions for a set period of time from the start of battle. But this guy actually does also nullify unfavorable element factor, so we don't know what typing he is, but that could obviously be really, really powerful and useful. It would be pretty interesting if he was green, just because of how many purple units are running around right now. We just got Jiren, Mono Purple still really strong. Just so many purple characters. I mean, Super Vegeta's pretty widely used in the Fusion Warriors team as well, so pretty much whatever team you're fighting against, there's probably at least one pretty dominant purple character. So if he was green and had that nullify unfavorable element factor, that's like actually a pretty good, set of, I guess, element plus ability mixtures to have. So that's pretty good. He also has this original mechanic that I don't know if we've seen before. Reduce the enemy's vanishing gauge to 0 when performing a cover change. Now, I am going to be sort of a bit of a skeptic about this mechanic. When most people read that mechanic, I would imagine that they're going to think, oh my god, that's so broken. First of all, this is probably going to be limited to like once only, or something like that, right? So let's just get that straight. It's not going to be every single time he's gonna reduce the vanishing gauge to 0, because if it did, that would be ridiculous. But I imagine this is probably a once or twice only thing that happens. And then number 2, I don't really think this is anything too crazy, if I'm being completely honest, because the enemy is in control when this is happening, right? You switch into this Goku, and this is during the middle of the enemy's combo. So the enemy has dictation of whether or not he wants to switch out or not. And a lot of these characters that we're getting recently do have ways of restoring their vanishing gauge, so if they're saving abilities like that from either their main ability or green card or whatever it is, they could pop those and get their vanishing gauge back. But you reducing an enemy's vanishing gauge to 0 is a lot less powerful when the enemy has control over priority, as opposed to something like when green Goku, Black, and Zamasu uses their green card and you're screwed. You can't really do anything, because you could use that ability on an enemy when, you know, they can't switch, or you know they can't switch, or it's just to dictate the flow of battle more often, right? So I think this is a good ability, and it definitely can come in handy, but again, I think people are automatically going to overrate that. So that's pretty much what we have here between the Goku and the Vegeta, the free-to-play units. So before we jump into anything else, like I don't know, like what are they doing with the English Twitter account? Are we gonna ever get an English tweet again? Hello, like what is this? Anyway, these guys are on a lot of teams, so they're both gonna be on God Key. They're both gonna be on Saiyans. Goku's gonna be on Sun Family. Vegeta's gonna be on Vegeta Family or Vegeta Clan. And the other thing we don't really know for sure of is if these guys are going to be in the movie version of Resurrection F or the Saga Resurrection F. Now, the thing to note about that is when you actually take a look at all the Resurrection F and Battle of Gods characters we've gotten, we actually don't have a single movie version of characters from either movie. They're all from the Saga, because if we take a look at God Key here, pull up this Goku, we can pull up this Vegeta. These are the first anniversary units from Resurrection F. They're from the Frieza Resurrected Saga, right? The Saga, not the actual movie. So these guys are not on Saga from the movies. And so I'm going to assume that just going off of that theme here, these guys are not going to be on the Sagas from the movies. I don't know, for whatever reason, they're just really, really hesitant to release characters that are from the actual movies of those stories, so Resurrection F and Battle of Gods. So I would imagine these guys are probably going to be on just the saga, so Resurrection F Saga, even though it's not really a team. It kind of sucks. I'd rather, even though I don't really think movies needs a buff right now, I'd rather them just be on movies to give the team more options, whereas with the Resurrection F Saga, it's never going to be a team. What are you going to do, make a team of 3 units? Because there's only 3 characters that fight in that movie, so I don't really know. But regardless, Sun Family for this Goku, I mean, he could be any color. It doesn't really matter. Like, this team is not a team that's struggling for options. Let me just go back to God Key, because I think that's the main tag where these characters are going to be useful on. Again, I think just because the fact that Goku does get the type nullification for the first, like, however many counts of battle, him being a green unit could definitely be interesting, right? You have, I mean, who's the best green on this team? It's Zamasu and Goku Black. This Goku's definitely going to play a different role than this Zamasu and Goku Black. This Zamasu and Goku Black is more so just of a tank character that also just provides some extra support and healing. So this Goku I definitely anticipate being a more damage-dealing character. I mean, I imagine he probably would be strike-based just because Vegeta's blast-based. I don't think they're going to make them both the same typing. They also typically don't like to make them the same typing as the previous iterations of these characters, and Vegeta, the purple Vegeta from Resurrection F was strike-based, this guy's blast-based. This Goku, the blue one, was blast-based, so I imagine this guy probably will be strike-based. So strike-based green Goku that can go type neutral would actually, I think, be pretty interesting on this team. We also obviously did just get the Zenkai green LF Vegeta here, so him being able to potentially Zenkai buff this Goku is also another interesting option for him as well. So that might be another reason why they decided to make this guy Zenkai ability God Key, because they knew this guy was coming out right afterwards, so that makes sense. And then for Vegeta, I guess what color does this team actually really need right now? Let's see. Definitely not purple. I don't really think anybody's like, oh, I hope they're purple. Blue, we just got the Beerus, so probably not. Green, I mean, I'm thinking Goku's green, so probably not green. I would take red for Vegeta. I think red would be a decent color here. I mean, the best red on this team is the Corrupted Fusion Zamasu. I know a lot of people have been asking for a really long time for this Rose Goku Black to get a Zenkai. I actually would not be opposed to that at all. I think it's about time he does get one as well. But for a free option for this team, I think a red, a red, powerful, free-to-play character on this Vegeta would actually be a pretty good option here. So my first go-to color for Vegeta would probably be red, and then secondary I'd probably just say yellow, I guess. Even though this team, I still think Gogeta Blue and Evolution Blue Vegeta are pretty powerful and strong, so my go-to would be red for Vegeta and then green for the Goku. But Let me know down below what you guys think about these guys releasing tomorrow. I don't think we're going to get anything else other than these 2 units, so we'll get the 2 free-to-play characters here. And then I imagine the next summon banner that's going to come out is going to be next week. So it'll be, what is that, the 15th is when we get the next banner. Could potentially be an All-Star banner, or it could just be another LF banner. I think what'll probably happen is we'll probably get another All-Star banner next week, and then the week after that, on the 22nd, will be another LF. So, but who knows? I'm not the one who dictates these things. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one.